how does the operator see its value, its role within private 5G? So one simple way of putting it would be the lowest value possible is to say, there you go, Mr. Customer, you have a rack, it's a private 5G network, do whatever you want with it. But that's providing very, very little value and overall trust and ongoing trusted relationship with the customer. So operators, the other possibility is to operators to say, I want to look at the bigger picture, the overall value chain. So how do I use private 5G with my enterprise customers to allow them to do whatever they want to do, use cases and so on and so forth, Industry 4.0 and so on. And in that perspective, the operator needs to look at the bigger value ecosystem. So how do I understand the enterprise environment? What are the different assets, different processes? What is he trying to do with private 5G? What are the different compliance requirements that he has in place? Do I need to provide edge computing? What are the type of applications and tools? So these are the two aspects that we need to look at. And from a cybersecurity perspective, we need, first of all, to make sure that the infrastructure itself, the private 5G network, is protected both from the control plane and the user plane with all the devices connected. But then looking at the bigger picture, we need to make sure the devices themselves that are connected to the 5G network, plus the edge, the compute environment, and the application and the value ecosystem that is on top of that, is security as well. So we have to look at that bigger picture in order to provide value and cybersecurity value to the enterprise customer. So when we're talking about IoT, legacy IoT, and the difference is very, for me, is very minor in the sense that legacy IoT would be either IoT devices that are unable to connect to a private network, a private cellular network. So in that case, you would have a cellular router or gateway that will allow them to do. Plus, the other distinction is when we're talking about legacy IoT is, old IoT devices or operational technology devices that just cannot be updated. They have very, very little security capabilities. They use specific protocols, different technologies. So that would be the difference between them. When thinking about private 5G networks in this environment, we need to think, how do I protect the network against these IoT? Because these IoT devices can be used, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, as attack vectors, right? So supporting the network, protecting the network itself. But then there's an entire IoT ecosystem. So the IoT devices talk to IoT gateways, IoT applications, and so on and so forth. So how do I protect these? Because the IoT infrastructure can be hacked and hindered through this ecosystem, so partners and applications. So again, it's not looking about just the IoT, looking at the bigger picture that allow service providers, operators to provide private 5G in OT environments that is secured and that provides value. So I think that the foundational principle is zero trust. Zero trust means I trust no one. I don't trust my devices. I don't trust the people, I don't trust the application, I don't trust the equipment, I don't trust the network, nothing is trusted. All the way from the device level itself through the 5G network or the cellular or the private LTE network, to the edge compute, to the platform, to the service platform, to the applications, to the value ecosystem that I build. That should be the founding principle. And in order to make it happen, I need to go and deploy the different security controls and visibility mechanisms in each one of these layers, in each one of these components. But I need to do it in a way that will allow me end-to-end zero trust, that will reduce complexity, because I don't want to increase complexity by adding different products, different solution, different management system, different SOC, different NOC, but doing it at a holistic, end-to-end, integrated, converged manner, throughout that 5G stack and enterprise 5G stack. And I think that is the only thing that can help us. It wouldn't give us 100% safe private 5G in this environment, but it can significantly reduce the exposure, the threat landscape, and make us more resilient.